Very curious. You should be sleeping. Aren't you, like, heavily medicated? I haven't even, like, finished all my messages, and here you are, just doing the thingy-madiggy. Yes, I did think you would sleep.
Hello.
Furrycures 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Oh, god damn it! I had like 10 seconds. Where did my hair go as well? Hang on. Something went wrong. There we go. There's my hair. Why is there a Mutasaur raid? Why is there a Mutasaur raid? I've only, like, barely starting. Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're all doing all right. Mutt raid, mutt raid, mutt raid, mutt raid. Amazingly enough, Mutasaur, I had to mention, mention this. A few days ago, I was in a conversation. Percivores? Ah, shit! Ah, fuck. You can't just steal my shirt when I'm in the middle of getting raided by 100 people. Jesus Christ. 5 minutes in stream. Yes.
Did you see it?
I reviewed the rules.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
Yes.
Did you see it?
God damn it. Ah!
Did you see it?
So, fun fact, there's like a lot of furry streamers out there that are already just like presenting their nipples, what have you, like on the male side at least. And I was really just pissed that Wilk did all this amazing work on my nipples, and I was like, I'm gonna put them back in. I'm gonna turn off the shape key. That's gonna flatten my chest. And I did that, and I forgot just how prominent. Why are my tits still shaking? What the hell? Hang on. Can I get to the button without accidentally flashing like so early into this stream right now? Thank you for the head pats. Where are my buttons? Here they are. And then donk. For some reason, the peck wiggle goes on for a lot longer than it needed to. Stole your shirt through an orange. Why is there a sword in your hair? Because if someone does a follow, like what Ripper did earlier, tits out for the boy. Oh, and I need to do my 20 squats as well. All right, let me do my spiel. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. My name is Grant. I'm a variety zebra himbo that plays through a variety of games. I'm going to be going through Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I have barely gone through it properly. I'm going to be real with you. I had just, like, I've done one dungeon in, like, the 10 or 20 hours that I've been at it. I've just been, you know, an absolute idiot and just exploring, finding Kokoro seeds and getting towers done. Yeah. Boobies! Boobies! So yeah, so only now have I finished the map and will actually, you know, play the game. But before that, I need to do my 20 squats. Oh my god. Ah! This is embarrassing as fuck. It has to be done when Mothersoul's walking. No! Jesus. Alright. 1, 2. Let's see if I can do this fast enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Meets
11,
with the 23-month tier
12,
1 sub. Almost 2 years of me asking for cookies, oh
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Alrighty. This is where we are. Oh, goodness. Someone clip the titty? Please don't. I did the whole, you know, I did the whole putting the tits back on, like the full nip and everything, because I didn't think it was, you know, that strong and obvious on my character. Turns out it fairly is. And I've just been skirting that line just a little bit. Although now it means, like, when people steal my... Hey! Who's... Jason! God damn... Just getting the himbo cam out. Trying to get a good look at my titties. God damn it! Be set on all steal their pants? No. No. Cookie, first and foremost. Oh, hello. Didn't do a really good job hiding that titty. But yeah, let me just zoom back in for a serious moment. You're never going to take the pants off, okay? That is a very clear thing that is never gonna happen, okay? Zooming back out. Nope, not this camera. Here we go. Pants. I will always have pants. Also, hi there, machine gun. All right, so who do we have in the stream? We got Bone, we got Furry Cures, we got Gyro, Jason, Meeps. Good to have you again, Meeps. It's been a while. And then Muddasaur. Muddasaur is most likely gonna, you're gonna run off and do a Yeah. Butts, no! God damn it, why is everyone raiding me when I got my tits out? God, no! Muddasaur's just gonna be lurking? No, that's fine. Hope you have a great stream. Hope you had a great stream. Aim on your side at least, Muddasaur. Rest up, get your drink, get your meal, get your exercise, whatever your de-stressing / cool down routine is for after stream. Hope you had a wonderful day. And yeah. Also, hi there, butts. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Grant. I'm a variety himbo streamer, playing through a variety of games, and I am going to be going through Tears of the Kingdom, which I'm fairly sure Butts has also been going through. How is Tears of the Kingdom for you, Butts? When I last saw you, you were like you finished the tutorial region, so you like ran off and, you know, jumped off the side. You went like down... like somewhere down there, well, not down here specifically, but you jumped out and went down. What can we say? Your tits are the pinnacle of your character. They could be the pinnacle of my character. I just need to be careful of not, because I don't think I can get away with like an entire stream with my tits out. However, I feel like Twitch would then come bearing down on me and like, you know, ruin the fun for everyone else. Where are your clothes at? They get stolen by chat. Time and time again, they get stolen by chat. It's absolutely insanity. I don't understand how I've been able to keep my laundry in check when chat's just, you know, going yoink. A main store. God, fuck. Who took it this time? Meeps! Meeps! Meeps, give me back my shirt. Thank goodness there's a boulder right in front of me. Give me back my shirt. What are you doing with it? You had to write it like that, Gyro, didn't you? Cookie? Here, cookie. Now give me my shirt. Here's your cookie. Give me my shirt. Cookie. Cookie for shirt? Cookie. Wait. Cookie for shirt. Ow. Alright, now I'm no longer hyper himboed. Ray J, thank you for the follow. That's a clip. Alright. Meeps loves cookies. I know Meeps loves cookies. The entire reason Meeps probably doesn't remember this, but the entire reason there's a cookie redeem is because Meeps was like one of the first people that watched my streams. Like even before I was affiliate, I'm fairly sure. Or no, maybe when I was starting to become an affiliate. Ow. Thank you for the hyper himbo. Like Meeps very much was always like give cookie when I was in the middle of streaming Mass Effect, and so I went and got myself like I rendered my hand. This was back when I was doing PNG nonsense. I rendered my hand holding a cookie for Meeps, and I was like, this cookie right here, and like it's probably a clip somewhere back when I had like scuffed mic and I didn't know how to communicate with a whole ton of people. But yeah. Alright, hang on. So this thing needs to be... because I know I'm going to get into a fight where it wants me to... that thing. Yeah, this thing is going to be a bit annoying. Alright, where is... there he is. Rip you down, and... I think I have a better sword. Yes, I do. Here we go. The Flux Core Smasher. Here we go. Bong. Damn it. Oh. There we go. Where the hell is the box? Oh, there he is. No! God damn you. Oh, wait, no, that's not what I want. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's painful. You're gonna... good luck with the rest of your stream. Thanks for stopping by. You're gonna lurk? Not to worry, but you're okay for lurking. I know I do it at like an odd time for like the American streamers and what have you, but thank you so much for bringing your audience over to here. I greatly appreciate it. All the other raiders, I appreciate your time here. Sorry if I am not like hyper communicative if like some other streamers out there, but I'll do my best. Trying to think what's in my like repertoire right now of like things I need to get sorted. All right, meaty rice balls. Let me just get some of you in me. Cookie for Meeps once again. Also, was I supposed to get my shirt back? Hang on. Because I know sometimes the, sometimes this thing doesn't, like, actually... Nope, the shirt be gone is meant to continue on for as long as it does. So it is doing its thing. There we go. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. There we are. And then... Gotcha. You're hyper in other ways. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Thank you for that phrasing. I am hyper in other ways. Alrighty. We got a Zoanite-powered sword. We got the Royal Claymore. A strong Zoanite spear. Alright, we're gonna go with this guy. And we're gonna attach it, because these things are really good. Like, top tip, but if you ever have to deal with those constructs, you probably had to deal with one on the Whatsamahoozy Island, the tutorial island. Fuse it to a weapon. That's not what I wanted to fuse. Damn it, I have to destroy the fused thingy. There we go. The Flux Core 2. Howdy. Hi there, Brazen Litten. Thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Did you come from Butts or did you come from Muddasaur? I know that sounds like I know that's a weird turn of phrase, but anyway, whoosies. Alright, so there's that thingy-majiggy there. There's giant orb there. Alrighty, so I'm up in the sky, and I have all these, like, regional phenomena that I could be dealing with. There's a crisis, dragon tears, finding Princess Zelda, potential princess sightings. Ow!
Bestboyox paid me to say hey Grant.
Hi, bestest boy. Thank you for the 150 bits. I don't exactly have a cool... Oh, that reminds me. There's something that I need to fix up with my Whatsamahoozy thingy-madiggies. Radium Desu. They were an amazing... You came from Muddasaur. Awesome. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Muddasaur's amazing. Muddasaur's really cool. I was able to meet her at the, at Furry Down Under last week, Jesus. Man, it's already been a week from that thing. Anywhoosies, I was able to meet Muddasaur like a week ago. Oh, I already got the video file. Interesting. Where is it? Where is it?
Thank you,
Jesus.
Bestboyox, for the tier 1 gift sub to Furry Cures.
Thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, hang on. Your intro fighters. Ah, yes, that thingy-majiggy as well. Congratulations, Gyro. You've accomplished 3 kills at the end of this thing, so I'll say you're the last one standing. Congratulations. All right. So I was given a video file from Radium Desu. I had to ask, like, I had to basically beg. I had to drop on my knees and beg Radium for this file. But in their mercy, that they were like totally fine with that. They were like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get back up." Sure, I can give you the file. And I now have pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever. I now have a new video to add into my You Died thingy-madiggy. Where, all right, so if I duplicate this, is there a way for me to duplicate? Duplicate, there we go. Ah!
Thank you, Bestboyox, for the tier 1 gift sub to Gyro Dragoner.
Thank you for the gift sub to Gyro Dragoner. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, hang on a second. Where is the... Nope, that's name sounds. I need the video sources. You died underscore. I now have a new video. There's now a potential for this video to pop up, and whenever like, you know, I get hit really hard with a gift sub and get yeeted and shit. Let's see if this works as it is. Radium has premiere.
Thank you Bestest Boyox for the tier 1 gift sub to Raider Sonic.
Thank you for the gifted sub, bestest boy. I only just recently put on a sub goal, but you didn't have to start throwing subs so quickly. You need to save your subs. It's nearly the end of the month. Everyone's doing Subfest right now. And now with a lot of people, this time it means this could go on for a while. It could. Do I want to reduce the... I could always, like, adjust the thingy-majiggy so that instead of it being, like, an immediate, like, getting yeeted and such on every gift sub, I should have it where it's a... And my gift sub has recently expired without even getting a notification. Oh, if you refresh the chat, you should be able to see it, Raider Sonic. The thingy-majiggies and the beasts. Tropical region in the south. Message from the ancient era. And then we've got Whitebird Guidance, the Crystal Lake, Stone Talus, the Molduga, Home Cooking requiring a bass, Treasures of the Secret Spring, the Rope Bridge, Out on an Inn. All right, here's what we're... Actually, I think we want to go with the Out on the Inn thing. Hang on. And then... So... Now I can start playing the... Now I can just start playing the game. That was the joke I was making about this thing, is that I finally got... While I was off stream, I got all the Sky Towers done. Doesn't matter. I'd rather support a bean like than help with subathons. Fair enough. At some point, someday in the future, I might get one of those subathons. Wouldn't that be something? I do need to think of something, however... For next month, actually, June will be because if you saw, Meeps has been following me for almost 2 years now, 23 months right now. In next month, I will have been streaming for like 2 years.
This Boyox paid me to say maybe sooner than you'd think, Tilda.
So yeah, so I will have been streaming for like 2 years next month, and I should probably, like, think up of, like, what I'm gonna do that month. Like, for 2 reasons. Number one, to kind of, like, you know, celebrate the fact that I've been streaming for 2 years. And the second reason, because I need to figure out how to, you know, get myself all the money I can save up so I can get myself to the States in October. And I don't really have the skills to, like, you know, draw shit and have people pay me to get drawn. Like, I'm not an artist. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not that good of an artist, all right? Like, this isn't even done by me. This was done thanks to Kusaki Desu, because they are an artist, however. They're an actually absolutely fucking amazing artist. Hang on a second. Shout out Kusaki Desu. Let's see if this works. They're responsible for this work of art. You go follow them as they play Amanda the Adventure. I thought that was American Truck Simulator for a second there. Where does my game source go? There's the game source. So why am I being listed as a raider from I Like Butts? I was just sort of sitting in there, like, quietly lurking. Why are you going to the States in October? Whoa. Bit too close of a zoom. Hang on. Zoom out. No, zoom out, please. Friend of the family who's, like, really close with my grandfather and other, and is, like, close with the side of the family that my mom is from and that I interact with quite a bit. I don't know how to describe the person who's getting married. Like, he's not a relative, but, like, he's very much started as, like, something of a relative, because, like, okay, how deep can I go into this? How deep can I go into the GrantZeebs lore here of the IRL stuff? Because basically, hang on, sippies. So basically, IRL lore for you. My grandfather, on my mom's side, he has a girlfriend? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're a girlfriend. They're not gonna get married or anything like that. He's late in his age. She's late in her age. Both of them are kind of, you know, they did the marriage thing with, you know, their respective partners, and then, you know, bad news happened on each side. My grandfather on that side died unfortunately. He didn't know her very well, but anywhoosies, they're together. They've been together for a while, but they've never, like, you know, made it official with marriage and shit. But she has a son who is like my age, or maybe a few years older than me, and he's pretty great. Like, works in, he's all this people is up in the United States, by the way, and they play Magic the Gathering. They are familiar with D&D and such. They're a pretty decent guy to talk with and such. And so he proposed to his girlfriend when our family, so his side of the family, my side of the family on my mom's side, we all went together for Christmas in Hawaii. I don't know if I shared too much news about what happened in Hawaii last year, but it was a very fun affair, and I'm pretty sure he's already told a lot of his friends already at this point, because they weren't telling them like immediately afterwards. It was going to be like a week before they spread the news. But basically, he proposed in Hawaii. They did a lovely little affair on the beach side and such, and she said yes, which was really amazing. He told me there, then he was like, oh, it would be really cool when we get the wedding arrangements done for you to come along. And I was just like, oh, yeah. I did the polite thing and said, yeah, sure. Just let me know when the date is, and I'll see how things pan out. Turns out there is a date. It's mid-October, and even though I am in Australia right now, he very much wants me to come along to the wedding with him. I wasn't too sure that was a legitimate thing, because I hear this news through my mom, who's very gossipy, and I feel like she's trying to get into the States a little more often than she's trying to and such, especially because, like, normally it's our grandfather who helps us get into the States rather than, you know, through our own means. Anywhoosies, not important. So mom says, is like, oh, you probably should have gotten an invite to the wedding. And I'm like, Mom, I'm in Australia. Like, I don't think I likely would have. Sent a text to the friend, and I'm like, hey, my mom told me you sent an invite. You didn't send an invite, did you? Did you, though? And he's like, no, I did. Didn't you not get the invite? And I'm like, no. What? I get 2 days later, I get a call from my grandfather of like, hey, so you know he's getting married, right? I'm like, yep. You know he wants you to come along. And I'm like, yeah. So do you think you can take time off work and, you know, you think you can make it to the States? Yeah. So now we skip 12 hours and... Wait, 12 hours? Yes. Basically, we skip maybe 12 hours, or no, not 12 hours, more than 20. It's been 24 plus 10. Jump 30 hours ahead. 30 hours later. Oh, goodness. Zoom out. 30 hours later, I am now in this position right now, telling you this story about how I have to try and save up $3,500 by the time October comes around, so then that way I can afford the plane tickets to get to the States and get back again. It's not enough that I get to, you know, get to the United States. I have to come back at some point because I have to work here. And I don't think they're going to let me work remotely in the United States so soon. No more watching the inn for me. Here's a little something for giving me back my free time. Nintendo! You need to think of a better... Oh my goodness, another 3 raids? What in the world is going on? Hi there! Welcome, everyone! Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you, Unity, for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Hi. Welcome, everyone. My name is Grant. I'm a variety himbo streamer who goes through like a variety of things. Get raided. Ah, hi there, Sashera. It was you, wasn't it? Unity doesn't know who I am, but Unity knows you, Sashera. It was you who corralled them into following and raiding me, wasn't it? Don't lie to me. I can smell lies. Now you're gonna hide because spoilers? Yes, you're just gonna... Cookie for... Hang on, who wanted the cookie? Nick Husky. Oh, cookie gone? Here we go. Cookie, once again. Here's your cookie, Nick Husky. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing all right. How was Sea of Thieves, Unity? A kobold witch and a certified cutie patootie. That is an interesting title. Hang on a second. Do you mind if... Do you have a... Actually... Do you have a clip that I can, because I have a cool little command where I can do like exclamation point, like a shout out clip, but I can also do exclamation point play, and we can have a Twitch clip played in the top left corner. I'm really curious, what does this kobold look like? I haven't seen very many kobolds. I have seen Dazarus, who, you know, proclaims to be the kobold king. They have a giant hoard of gold behind them, but... Sashara and the emo femboy both told you to raid me. Okay. I know who Sashara is. I don't know who the emo femboy is. And then we got Corset Lebely, who came with Maisie Corgi. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of different... Actually, hang on. I need a chart. Where's paint? So, if I... Alright, and then I'm going to add a window source. It's going to be a window capture of... Where's paint? Here's paint. Cool. Slip you into here. All right, so... What the foreground elements? Come on. Transform. Reset transformation. Oh, device not connected. MS Paint. There we go. Alrighty then. So we have... Can I resize this? Yes, I can. Awesome. All right, so here is me, GrantZeebs. And then over in... So we had our first one, which was... So we had Mutta. And then we had... I can't spell like correctly. Do not, like, question me on this one. Dink. Also, I'm trying to write this... I'm a left-handed writer, and I'm trying to write this with my mouse hand. And then, finally, we have, Unity. And then, from Unity, there was someone who got in from Maisie Corgi. Maisie Corgi. My god. Alright, and so the reason you raided into me is because of Sashara, who I also know streams. I'm just gonna write Sash, but then hang on a sec, she put Dazzy to shame. Let's say that. Dazzy's a good friend of mine. They're a wonderful ball of hubris. If you want to play a clip, there are quite a few of them, unless you want me to pick a specific one. If I do like exclamation point clip shout out, it's going to be a random clip. Let's see how curated your clip series is. Roll the tape. Ooh.
I'll fucking eat you in a second.
Hey, out. You gotta say out.
Yeah.
Who you gonna eat?
Wait, I have the Cryptia Tomb Key. What's that for?
What is this game? Outward.
The Cryptia too.
Wow, how fucking amazing.
God damn it.
Awesome. Outward is like Fable meets Dark Souls. I do like Fable, and for some reason, I just can't let go of Dark Souls, despite every facet of my being telling me I didn't want to like the game, but I still keep going back into it. And I went into Link with some very Dark Souls-y kind of feels to it, and I went into Jedi Survivor, which everyone always comments as being a Souls-like. Maybe I should give it a try at some point. No, I can't purchase new games. I have to, like, control my budget. I need to lower the finances. Good lords in heaven, she's sexy. I know, that's why I went, ooh. Spongy Lord, thank you for... Spongy Lord, thank you for the follow. All right, sorry. I keep getting distracted by nonsense. So sorry. But yeah, boy, that's a mood. Just, wait, which mood? The, ooh. Ooh, butts and boobies, or I gotta keep my finances in check. Which one of those two moods? Made from sticky frogs and a bokoblin horn. Could come in handy. All right. Sticky frogs and bokoblin horns. I need to remember that. Hang on. Sticky. I need a pot. I need a lid. Shit. Oh, stables. If I go to the stables, there's going to be a pot lid there, and I can cook there. Someone remind me, sticky frogs and bokoblin horns. What do you do for work? Why do I feel like you've asked me this already? I've already answered this on a previous stream. You're distracted by the raids. Yes, I am distracted by the raids. Unity is the best kind of nonsense. Amazing. Awesome. Anyway, have fun. I'll be lurking so I don't get spoiled. Not to worry, Sashera. I have been hugely distracted, and for all you know, I might finally get good and start doing the main quest line instead of just, you know, fucking about. Whoop. Ow.
Oh.
Right at the foot of the... Thank you for this. If you need a guide to the road...
Suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. I'll be back because I need to use the restroom real quick. Not to worry, you use the restroom. I'll still be here, doing my thing. Don't worry. I just need to find a cooking pot. There's a... Alright, maybe there's a cooking pot in the well? Oh, there's another well. What? Okay, weird. Alright, hang on. Bing, bing. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bing, ding. There we go. There's no reason for me to pick up all this stuff. I'm looking for a cooking pot, but I don't want to give up on... I don't want to, like, walk away from all this shit because it's, like, luminous stones and other kinds of nonsense. Maybe... Actually, maybe there's, like, a thing for me to, like, elevate into. Dunk. Anything under you? No. Oh! Another well! Well, well, well. Where the fuck am I? Fairies! Oh, there's a lot of fairies. Okay. Nut. Thank you for the nut. Alright, let me see if I can get this frog. Actually, let me... Alright, so I got, like, different attire for different things. I haven't, like, fully done all of them, but I'll do at least this stealth up thing. To... Alright, there we go. This message has been highlighted. Thank you, Snow Pixie. I wish I had, like, a cool thingy-madiggy in the... Like, I've seen this on Mud... Actually, you know what? Maybe I should ask Mudasaur about this. But there's basically, like... Because you see the chat thingy in the top right there? Mudasaur has it on her channel where if someone does a highlighted message, it actually does like a rainbow effect. So then that way, like, not only is there like me getting like the indicator of like, you know, oh, this is a highlighted message in the general chat, but if anyone's, you know, watching in full screen mode or maybe they're on a mobile device, it also gets highlighted there. It would be cool. I keep forgetting to ask them. Someone's gonna need to remind me to ask them these things. My goodness, how am I gonna remember anything? No, fairy, don't go away. Don't go away. Damn it. Alright, hang on. Maybe I can get this fairy. Dunk. There we go. How many fairies do I have? 2. Alright. And then... I swear, if there's like another well... no, there isn't. Okay.
Furry Cures 1221 paid me to say still big stinky himbo.
I actually had a shower an hour ago. Thank you very much. I am hardly the stinky zebra you think I am. I am a clean, fresh zebra. I am the pinnacle of
Quote
hygiene. Thank you very much.
314. This is a really tall wiener.
Oh,
Jesus.
There's no reason for me to do these things when the time thingy-majiggy comes up. I still want to do them. A pot! Found it. All right, hang on. All right, so sort by type. And then hold this. Set that as to there. Alrighty. So it was a bokoblin horn.
Be so fine. Then,
Then
boom.
boom. Horny. And then I needed a frog. What frog? Sticky frog? I think it was a sticky frog. I got 5 of them at least. Cook. Sticky elixir. Excellent. Oh, wow. I've got, like, a sticky elixir that's, like, 9. That's interesting. I could, like... Can I go... Yep, I can hold all 4. Why is the elixir sticky? It's because of the frog doing, like, weird nonsense. For a speed effect. Alright, hang on. So, actually, do I have any recipes with you? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, let's see how this works with... Alright, because I've got, like, a shit ton of these choo-choo jellies. Will it still work if I'm using a choo-choo jelly? Excellent, it does. Select recipes. So, yeah. And then that does a spicy. Grants a warming effect. That gives me health and stealth. This gives me a bright elixir. Okay, so if people give me elixirs, then I'm like, you know... Arrows and thrones fly farther with this item attached. Draw out a speed boosting effect. Increases my maximum stamina. Allow me to move more quietly. A heat resistant elixir. Do I have anything with a heat elixir? Hang on. Fire resistance. Wait, what does this tail do? Fuse it with a weapon to add a... Okay, so that's for fusing. Cook it with a critter to make an elixir or attach it. Bokoblin Fang.
Furrycures 1221 paid me to say if the frogs are doing something strange. Is it even an elixir or frog cum?
It's a frog elixir. Alright, so that's a different sticky thing. Alright, what else do I have in abundance? Boost my heat resistance. Okay. And then we'll add in... Let's do some... Alright, 3 fishes and a rice. What does that give us? Alright, that gives us 9 minutes of heat resistance and some really good rice balls. Alright, hold on to this. And then 2 fishes. Yep, so that gives me like a more moderate... And then... Alright, let's see how this goes. Chili fish skewer. Alright, cool. We're about as good as we're gonna get with that one. Heard about a legendary pumpkin. There's a legendary called the Master Gourd. Was powerful enough to defeat any monster, no matter how strong its stomach. No. Alrighty then. Cool. Adventures log. Rope bridge. So yeah. Hold rice bowls like a hamburger. I don't know if you're supposed to, like... Hang on. Because, like, when you get the, like, if it's a rice bowl, if there's not, like, is it gonna be, like, the triangle like it is in the anime? Or, I thought they did it like a sushi, where it's, like, turned into a roll, and then you just, like, hold it like a, you hold it like a cookie. At least that's why I think the rice bowls are like. They're more like a cookie. Granted, I haven't had a rice bowl before. Or, at least I don't think I've had a rice bowl. It's a Pokemon joke, don't overthink it. Oh, no, those aren't rice bowls. Those are jelly-filled donuts. If you grew up with Pokemon with the English dub instead of the English sub, then you would know exactly what I was talking about. There we go. It's worse than I thought. Sorry, I wish we had more building supplies for you to use. Not yours, I was too rousy with my estimates. What's wrong? It's about the bridge. We hit a snag. We're short 20 pieces of wood. Oh, I've got plenty of wood. Here you go. 20 pieces of wood. Must have been a real pain in the neck collecting that on your own. Nah, I wasn't. I was completely distracted when all that was happening. Alright. I have jelly, if you know what I mean. Hey. Hey. Hey, that is some horny fucking talk in my chat. That is some very, very poignanted, horny talk in my chat right there. Bonk.
Becky. Limb smash.
Bonk. Oh, with a profile icon like that, I know that I know a furry like that. That's gonna be a horny fur if I have ever seen a profile icon. The only way you could have gotten more horny is if you had the Agio face on. Use a horn. This entire chat is horny. God damn it! You show your tits out once in the first 5 minutes of the stream, and everyone goes horny. Ooh. That's your character. That's your character. Being horny. Yes. Fair. Fine. I can't fault you, okay? Some days is like my day. It be so fine, and then boom. Horny. What the hell is going on in the background? Son and done? What is it with some of these characters that are coming up with puns? Like, there was like this pelican bird that's like soar. Like, instead of saying so long, he says soar along. Like as if soaring. You're a Kirin. You're 40% horny. What is a Kirin? Hang on. I need to Google shit. What is a Kirin? Oh, D&D. Hang on. Kirin D&D. Herbivores feed themselves with the ability to create matter, which was only... What the... No, just give me... Oh, it's like a deer? Looks like a deer. Noble creatures, native to the celestial planes, with either for good aligned deities in direct who either worked for good aligned deities in direct opposition to the forces of evil, or served as protectors of large areas of the mortal world. They were regarded as harbingers of good fortune, and days when a Kirin was sighted were considered blessed. Interesting. Similar to a unicorn. Good to know. Welcome back, Unity. Hopefully your piss break was okay. Amazing, fantastic. Now we can carry supplies across. Yep, cool. Yep, thank you. Got my rubies for giving them like 20 bricks of wood and running all over this place. Thank you. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. There we go. And done. Deer, dragon, ox, koi composite creature from Asian mythology. Oh! There's not a lot of Asian mythology used in furries. That's pretty neat. Clever. Interesting designs. Alright, I'm gonna grab this, and then... What the hell is... Oh, because the moon is going over like that thingy-majiggy. Alright. Where are the wells? Danger in the Gerudo. He thinks in daytime they're likely to rest in a cave or some shade. At night they might make a fire to deal with the cold. Be sure to help them out if you see them. 2 are still lost. Manny Beloved, A Trip Through History, Secrets of the Water Spring, The Home Cooking. Nah. Alright. We are going to continue on with the regional disasters. I can't keep getting distracted by side quests. I need to... Alright, so the closest one I can do via teleportation is this one here. Because of going to this tower here. Profile pics help for visuals. Ah, okay. Okay. They're very underused, but Monster Hunter does a pretty good job of using it. Oh, I didn't know they were in Monster Hunter as well. I just did a Google search and I was like, D&D. I know what D&D is. I'll go for D&D. Also, I need to update some of my, I need to start creating a goal for subs and what have you, because I gotta figure out other means of making money in the next June, July, August, September, and then October is going to be a wash. So I have to find a way to make money across the 4 months that I have free to myself. Anything? Ooh, frog. Get out.
Furry Cures 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Ah, all right, fine. Which way do I have to look? I think I need to go this way. All right, let me do the 20 squats. Actually, I can go into the tower and then get shot into the sky to get to where I need to go. All right, 20 squats. Here we go. No, I'm not gonna fart. Don't be ridiculous. Big stretch. Big stretch. All right, here we go. You're gonna make that joke every time. At some point, when does it stop being a joke and just start being bullying, I wonder? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Go suck a lemon.
17. You go suck 11. 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. I greatly appreciate it. I hope... Ooh, sticky frog. Oh wait, what am I thinking? No, I'm meant to be going... I'm meant to be going into the tower, so then that way I can, like, fly to the edge of the town or what have you. Alright, let me put on my glide gear. Here we go. Maximum glide. Alright, so I need to get down there. Jesus, how am I not hitting orbs when I'm like, rock when I'm doing that? Alrighty. Meow. Gonna go to, like, the foot of town. Here we go. Alright, get ready to catch ourselves in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Did it. Learnings of the Zora, Part 8. The Princess of Hyrule as told by Prince Sidon. Once that despicable disaster has ceased to plague Zora's domain, a distinguished yet humble lady paid us a visit. The young woman who appeared with Link at her side was none other Princess Zelda of the Thingamadiggy Beg. So give... Yep, cool. Yep. Alright, cool. Thank you. Not really all that important. You. Oh, and it's like dropping into the ocean, too. Need that stone. Awesome. Oh. Oh, I can just walk through it normally. It's just really disgusting. I was worried I'd get damaged for it. Yes, I'm going to be chopping down wood because they told me it was there was like going to be 20 pieces for that bridge, and I imagine it's going to be like I'm going to need to use wood as well for like the next project. Assuming that the next few villages are going to do the whole, yes, if you do the whole saving this town from its regional phenomena, then we'll help you with a build project to help make this town a lot more accessible from outside, despite the fact there is a shrine right there for me to go into. I won't go into it immediately because I imagine it's going to be a little bit difficult getting back up onto this floor if I go for it right away, so I'm just going to go and talk to these people. Who's this? You're not Cookie for furry cures! Oh, I'm so sorry. Everyone has been treated now, but we have used up all of the splash fruit. There were more injuries than anticipated. Please accept my apologies. You have nothing to apologize for. You did what had to be done. Most importantly, I am grateful that everyone is alright. Now, if we could only do something about that statue. Huh? You there. Are you a traveler? I am sorry that I did not notice you until now. I was focused on a matter of great importance. Zora's domain is in troubled times at present due to the sludge bold, falling from the sky. Things have finally calmed down, at least for the moment. However, this place remains covered in sludge. Such a shame, as this particular statue is so incredibly important to the Zora of the domain. We were just discussing how we need to wash away the sludge. I apologize that I cannot provide a great deal of hospitality. Please do make yourself at home here. Oh, wow.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Alright, so they mentioned the splash fruit. Nice. So I can use the splash fruit to, like, clean up. There we go. Hey, he's got a whistle.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, who's the fuck's on the back of that? Is that meant to be me in, like, the previous game? I see you managed to wash it away. That statue is a symbol of hope for the Zora. It is very precious to us. Thank you so much for cleaning it up. It depicts the majestic form of the pair who saved this cherished domain in the past. That right there, beloved Prince Sidon of the Zora and his very best friend, Link, the heroic Hyrulean swordsman. Oh, I love how it's like the beloved Prince Sidon and then his best friend. I've seen how people talk about The Legend of Zelda when Prince Sidon popped up. I know exactly what some of you furries were thinking of I knew exactly what was going on when everyone saw that prince and he did the and he did like that cool ass smile after doing the arm pump thing. So many people were swooned. The men, the women, everyone.
Becky. Limb smash.
No, I'm not being horny. I'm saying
Bonker.
the furry community was horny. And then, so it's like, yeah. It is simply wonderful, is it not? How I would love to meet him someday. Say, you have a similar stature to the Hylian hero. Similar eyes as well. Oh my. And you are also a Hylian and a swordsman. Could it be? Oh my god. Could it be, chat? The shark man is cute. Are they sharks? I thought they're just fish. I thought they're fishmen. Link, the swordsman of legend. Ahem. Please remember to mind your manners, Chroma. Oh, please accept my apologies.
Yes.
Please pardon our rudeness. I am quite surprised to learn that you are the legendary swordsman, Sir Link. I have heard mention of you nearly every day since I first arrived at this domain. I am Prince Sidon's... Oh, forgive me. I am your best friend's fiancé. What? You don't need to say I'm your like, you don't need to tell me you're my best friend's fiancé, okay? Like, Link doesn't have that very many friends. You could have easily have just said Prince Sidon. We would have been fine. Yona. Truly honored to have the opportunity to meet you, Sir Link. Caretaker. Nice. Shark is fish? I guess, but I feel like shark is when you go very specific for a fish. Like how octopus are fish. But you don't ever say, like, unless it's obviously an octopus, you don't call the fishman octopus. I had heard that you were missing along with Princess Zelda. If I may ask, what brings you here? To think that such a thing took place beneath Hyrule Castle, and now you are investigating the kingdom to investigate. So your search for Zelda is what brought you to this domain? In that case, you have a lovely idea. Go meet Sidon. He'd be delighted to see me. He can be found at Mifa Court, located at the peak. Cool. Lady Yona, it is time. I fear we must go now. We must be going now. I know how to speak. It's not totally ridiculous. Don't be mad. Forgive me, Sir Link, but I must be on my way. I have important things to do. Oh, but if it pleases you, after you have met with Sidon, perhaps you could visit me at the infirmary on the floor above. I am determined to be of assistance to you as best as I can, Sir Link. She wants the tea. She wants to know the dirty secrets that Link must possibly know about Prince Sidon that he's not telling her directly, despite the fact they're fiancé. Neat. Then there's Rito, there's Tulin, Peya, Impa, Josh, Rob, Pura. And then we got Zelda. Oh yeah, this dude here I bumped into. I have not bumped into this man other than the one time off stream, and I do not know why they introduced this fucking himbo of a survey team lead, and I haven't seen him again. This is a huge fucking disservice. I can't even see his eyes. He's just that big of a himbo. Kahlua wishes he could be this kind of man. Meanwhile, there's that weird guy, and then there's Goat Boy. Why does he have such slutty hips? Like, chat. Look at them hips. Like, look how low that fucking skirt is compared to, like, his hip bone. What were you thinking, Nintendo? Like, why did you have to make him so horny? Alright, alright, so I need to head to the prince, who can be found... there. Oh, would you look at that? A shrine. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. Archery tips. Draw your bowstring while jumping from a height. Yep, I already know about that. Alrighty then. There's the prince. Oh, and he's doing water bending as well. Shh, keep it down. The prince requires absolute quiet to concentrate on his important work. Wait, Link? You came here to see Prince Sidon? Well, since it's you, that should be no problem at all. I'm sure Prince Sidon will be thrilled to see you. All right, we're gonna do the slow walk, and we're gonna see if we can let's see if we can surprise the prince. He also looks like he's got like a lot more fancy shit on him now. He used to be just an adventurer kind of dude, but now he's got things on him. He tall? Yes, he's tall. Oh, and he's got a whistle on him for some reason. Why do you have a whistle? Also, move the camera up.
It's good to see you, my friend.
Where's your pants? I'm sorry, that's like they had me like they had me focused below his head, and I was like, all right, I'll just give him a once over, and I'm like, he has no pants. He's just like fucking naked. He's just doing the same thing Radium and some of those other furries do, where they don't have pants. I don't know why. You're anthropomorphic beings. You are choosing to be, you know, standing up and very human-like. Why aren't you wearing pants like the human you are? Link! It has been far too long. I received word that you had gone missing and was beside myself with concern. Whatever could have transpired? To think something like that could have taken place beneath Hyrule Castle. And afterwards, you mysteriously awoke on a sky island. The sky. Could it be that the sky is the key to everything after all? My apologies. I have actually been wondering if those floating sky islands could be the source of the falling sludge. That is why I have tasked a Zoran historian with investigating ruined fragments and all historical documents related to the sky. As for me, I am not at liberty to leave this spot at present, as I am uniquely qualified to deal with the sludge here. You see, old friend, this place is the source of the water that flows into Zora Domain, and that's why I must use the power of water manipulation to separate the sludge from our water in order to clean it. If I cease, then the sullied water will flow into our beloved home, and there will be much pain and suffering. That is why I cannot afford to leave here, no matter what. Say, Link, does it not seem that Princess Zelda's whereabouts might be related to the floating sky islands and the ruins? If so, perhaps you should go and speak with our historian Yato. His many years have blessed him with great wisdom. It is quite possible that he could provide you with some useful information. At present, you should be able to find Yato continuing his investigation at Toto Lake. By the way, I hope you know that I am truly happy to see you again after such a long time apart, my dearest friend. Visit me anytime you like. Your presence is never anything less than welcome and appreciated. Look, I'm gonna be real with you, chat. I don't know if Sidon is meant to be like, there he is. There he is doing the pose. Look at him doing the pose. Hang on, let me turn off the foreground elements. He's doing the pose. And then I just need to get camera and then drag. He's doing the fucking pose. Just doing that fucking giant ass smile with the arm pump. And once again, no pants. Ridiculous. Foreground elements. Hang on, put that back on. There we go. Pants have drag while you're swimming? I don't know if that's that's not a fair argument while he's holding a fucking trident and has all this other metal shit on him. Alrighty, Mifa Court. Lake Akala. Scion of the Zora. Speak at Toto Lake. Alrighty. Sludge never stops falling, thanks to the blah 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 blah. Bring lots of flat splash fruit. Noted. Oh, the shit just drops, does it? Alrighty. Let's just start flying. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. All right, get ready to see some pro gamer moves. Now, there's a fireplace in front of there, and if you have, where the fuck is it? If you have a pine cone, never mind, the pine cone is not doing what I intended, so fuck it, we're just gonna use a bomb plant. There it is, bomb plant. Ow! I mean, I forgot the bombs were there. Give me my steak. Neat. Let's go with... Okay, turn around. There we go. Oh, Jesus, I am so low on health. That was just pure luck. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. A trident item related to mystical water creatures. Yeah, no, I understand trident is like the thing used with Poseidon and shit, and we've never given up on using it anywhere else. A decayed wooden boomerang, a useful tool using a oh, it's got a Lionel horn on it is probably why it's so popular. Got a lot of the... Alright, I'm gonna drop the spiky spear and get... Because I'm particularly a bigger fan of broadswords than anything else. Like, I like having my sword and shield out. I don't like, you know, two-handing it very often. If I have to two-hand things, I want it with a bit of reach. It's gotta be long. Like, if I gotta use two hands, it's gotta be long. Can't be some, like, stumpy thing. I need... distance, because like, if I can't block, then I need to have a distance between me and whatever else is trying to hit me. Dun 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 dun. All right, walk through this sludge. Ugh, disgusting. All right, so so we got all this sludge here. Never understand the ways of historians. Can he not conduct the investigation more cautiously? Grumbling to myself, not as it sounds. Yeah, to ruins. Okay, so he's investigating the ruins over there, then. Where's my pants? Right the fuck here, thank you very much. I am always going to be found wearing pants. I might have my shirt stolen once in a while, but I will never have my pants taken off. No! Flu! What are you doing? Flu! Stop it! What did you do with my muscles? What did you do with them? Nope, 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 nope. What did you do with my muscles? It's not being a... What do you mean being a quitter? I'm not being a quitter by keeping my pants on, okay? If anything, you're like, you have to put pants on, so you're a quitter if you take them off. All right.
This dignified presentation. Yes, the writing looks like waves upon a stormy sea. Extraordinary. This ancient stone slate was written by our Zora ancestors from the distant past. And hang on a sec, he's got like a, that's not the old voice he has. He's a schnivelly kind of guy. He's gotta have some old nasally thing. Oh, all right, here we go. Hopefully this is nasally and someone who just is so annoyed with the backyard kids. This ancient stone slate was written by our Zora ancestors from the distant past and left for us to discover. Stand upon the land of the sky fish, a droplet, a watery bridge. Alas, I cannot decipher it. Ah, Link. My apologies. I was deep in thought. In any case, I have news. I have a monumental discovery. This is undeniably an ancient Zora stone slate. Better still, upon its surface there appears to be text regarding the sky. However, the slate is broken, and so I am unable to read it in its entirety. I deeply wish that I could view the full text. Alas, I fear that my fins are tired.
I basically had to like stick my teeth out like this to try and do a weary voice. I'd went with a Tony J voice myself. Who the fuck is Tony J? Never heard of such a person. Also, I need to find the slate, apparently. Oh, hang on. I bet you that's the slate right there. Oh my goodness. Who could have found it if not fucking Link?
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it. I saw the slate. Alrighty. Is this the right way? Yes, it is. You'd recognize his voice if you heard it. Alright, hang on a second. Open a new tab. I'm going to put this front and center for me. What was I looking up? Tony J. I wrote Tibby Hay. Tony J. A British actor. Is that Tony J voice? When I heard the name Tony J, I was expecting, you know, I was expecting a mobster's voice, okay? Tony J sounds like he's from the 1950s or something, where he's like remembering the Prohibition age. What does he sound like? Ah. Oh. Oh, this is Treasure Planet. I didn't sound anything like that when I was doing this man's old voice, was I? I'm pretty sure I wasn't. This is like, now overcoming the zap, like, he swooped in out of nowhere. Like, nah. Okay, now I know who Tony J is. Okay, that voice. Alrighty. Well, I'm not gonna do Tony J. I'm gonna do the voice that I was able to come up with this, like,
what is this? The stone slate? I can barely believe my eyes. Link, I must thank you. Ah, incredible. I can finally read it. Yes, I very well can. Stand upon the land of the skyfish, and behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks you see, a droplet waits for you.
Roshi? Why are you question marking yourself? You wrote it incorrectly the first time. Roshi is like one O and a single I. It's not double O double E. Why are you questioning yourself on this one?
Through this doublet, shoot an arrow with the mark of a king. Do this task and you shall reveal a most wondrous thing. See the watery bridge's resting spot with your own two eyes, that which connects the Zora to the people of the skies.
You forgot to spell it. All right, fair enough. Fine, you forgot. It was a difficult thing to spell.
This is an extraordinary discovery. This important text actually tells us how to journey into the sky. Though in truth, that mystery just leads us straight into another. One difficulty has been overcome, and yet another has appeared in its wake. As mentioned, the mark of a king. Perhaps it would be prudent to consult King Dorephan. I assume that he will be returning from his investigation of the sludge shortly.
Neat. Hopefully I don't have to do this guy's voice again for a long-ass time. Alright, first and foremost, I want to get rid of that pin. Now I can head to the Zora domain. And this time around, I'm gonna head for the Zora domain and actually land for the Shire that's, or the Shrine, sorry, that's there. Also, cool tree. Can I break these trees? Nope, they don't do anything. Okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Might as well break some of this up.
Yeah.
Make it easier for me to... Alright, why is it telling me clues to the sky? Speaking with Sir Doran. He should be down there. I'm not gonna die for this thing. That would be ridiculous. Alrighty. Whoop. Boom. There we go. Oh, hey, there's a ladder right there I could go for when I'm done with this place. The Mogawak Shrine. You forgot Dingus. Just shouting out Dingus. Dingus! Alrighty, I didn't read the thingy-majiggy that said on there what the point of this puzzle is. I have been really good with some of these puzzles, and I've also been very, like, cheeky with some of these puzzles as well. Alright, so we got this thing. Alright, so clearly that thing wants to go up. And then we've got this, which... Does it do anything? No. Alright, does... No, that doesn't want to break off or anything like that. Ooh, hang on. Tyler Furlong, thank you for the follow! iFroggo, thank you for the follow. Wait, hang on a second. Something's happening. Oh, hang on. Cosmic! Go back to your stream. Cosmic! Get back in. Get back in. No, no, don't. You don't get to look at titties. No, you don't get to look at titties, okay? You don't... Where is he? I'm like, there's probably like a couple seconds to like, okay. No, is he? I don't mean it. Thank you so much. Hi, Cosmic. Oh, wait, I can do this. Wait. Alright, I gotta go back to my stream. Alright, you go back to your stream, Cosmic. Bye. Bye-bye. Alright, alright, get this chest. And then... Grundle. Thank you for the follow as well, Skydark. Oh, okay, these Magic Specters. These things are fucking amazing. I'm gonna drop this Opal Staff to get this thing. Okay, I need another... Because I think I know what that thing wants to do. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to... Huh. Oh, hang on. No. Okay, so that doesn't do what I want it to do. There's like... Ooh, actually, hang on. Maybe... Alright, move. Does this do something? Does this do anything? The power of water. Okay, cool. Am I here too soon, perhaps? Alright, there we go. There we go. Okay, that's actually getting power. Cool. And then we use this to reach it into full power. I am a fucking genius. And then... damn it. Fuck. I thought I was onto something, but I'm not. All right. Grab this. Move you. All right, so. Okay, so I have like a really far distance I can go with this one. And then that gets it up to full. So long as it doesn't use power, I should be okay. All right, I'm going to leave you right there because I'm going to see whether or not... All right. Hopefully, I should be... Alright, so still got shocked, but I was already on the other side when that happened, so not my fault. Alrighty. Now I got the thingy-majiggy I wanted. Now I can lay this on here. Alright, so that's fully charged. And then... Can I just attach it? Like... Okay, cool. It will actually go through barriers and such. Awesome. Also, what is... Hello? Game, are you okay? Chat, you doing okay? What in the world? Chat? Huh. Odd. So why is... No. Close. Quit Skype. Exit out of that. Chat. Am I okay now? Sound off if you can see me. Hello? Is everyone okay? Hopefully not. Hopefully everyone's alright. Wait, am I alright? Hang on a second. Is my thingy-majiggy still working? You're good? Awesome. Cool. You might just need a refresh just to figure out. Because, yeah, that was weird. That was weird. It was like doing some nonsense for like a good what's-mahoozy seconds. Like... Maybe it's just a weird thing while I got, like, AverMedia as, like, my responsible party. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do! I wonder if there was a better way I could have dealt with that, what's-mahoozy thing, the electricity. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I got 14 of those. And I got full health. At some point, I need to get to a shrine. Or not a shrine, I need to get to, like, the fairy gods thingy-majiggy, so then that way I can put those into... I'm probably going to put them into stamina, because I reckon I have enough HP as it is. I've got, like, over 10 points of HP, and I'm going to get a heart when I go through the dungeons, I reckon, so... Ooh, crab. Mine. Alrighty. So, yeah, because, like... Because I reckon with more stamina, I'm going to do a lot better in regards to like the gliding and the climbing that's going to be coming up when I go into like the depths or what have you. Oh, is there armor? Ooh, okay, so there's a cooking pot there, barrels there, beds there. What's this guy? We have lost many customers because of the sludge. Thank you for coming by. Welcome to the Seabed Inn. Will you be staying? A blissful bed is 50 pieces. Yeah, no thanks. Alright. I need a general store. I want armor. Ooh, arrows. Yes, please. I'll take them all, good sir. I need it. Give me as many arrows as you are allowed to give me. What do the violets do? Increases my movement speed. Oh, okay, interesting. I'll always go for more of those. Thank you, Wolf Nerd, for sticking around with me. Yeah, really appreciate it. How's your night going, by the by, Wolf Nerd? Is it nighttime for you, or is it like early daytime for you, and I'm keeping you awake? Okay, Helian footsteps. Yeah. Link, have you already spoken with Lady Yona? She's attempting to repair your Zora armor. You know full well that the Zora armor allows even a Hylian like you to climb up waterfalls. It is essential if you hope to travel these parts with ease. Lady Yona is at the infirmary. I suggest you confer with her at once. Cool. Oh, I need to go up a floor, most likely, to get to the infirmary. This way. It's 2:30 a.m. You work overnights? Ah, okay. You're one of them nighttime peeps like Meeps and Furry Cures, and I have quite a few Americans that for some reason decide to be up real late at the night. It's crazy. Oh, wow. I can just letting me swim through this stuff. Okay. Sludge is really troublesome. I dearly hope our patient recovers soon. Sir Link is here. Yes, because I was trying to speak to her right away.
Oh.
You really came. How fortuitous. Came. Came. All right. I was hoping to speak with you about an item you've entrusted with the Zora armor. Ancient. You can finish if you can somehow acquire a scale from ancient Arowians. Arowians. Okay. However, it seems an elusive fish called is needed to finish repairing. If you find, you should bring it to Yona. An ancient Aurorian. Where would I go for the ancient Aurorian?
Oh.
He's left the domain. Okay. What's Defa Court? Huh. We have not seen them here recently. I have no idea where they can be found. Dento. Thank you for the follow, Honey Buns. Welcome to the stream. Honey Buns. Bring it to me. Okay, I need to find the ancient something or rathers. Where the F am I going to find one of those? Because Toto Lake, maybe up in the up. And then we have the Great Spring. Would it be down? No, it wouldn't be down in the wetlands. Cookie for Honey Buns. Here's your cookie. I've been getting a lot of like feminine sort of names. Like last night or last morning. Yeah, yesterday morning. Sorry. All right. One of the newbies was Mama Woofy. That was pretty cool. So, she looked sweet. She looked nice. Honey Buns. The first thing that's popping up is in my...
42 thinks you should do 20 squats.
After I just complimented you so much, you go and force me to do squats? Ah, fine. I guess I'm doing squats right now. All right, here we go. Big stretch. Big stretch. What is that emote? I can't see it from here. Hang on. I'm gonna need to do my squats really quickly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Thank you, Honey Buns, for the 20 squats. I'm curious. How... Are you a cutie? Oh my god, that is a fucking cutie emote. That is such a fucking cutie. Oh my goodness. 44%? You gotta be cool. You gotta be... Nah. You gotta be more than 40%. What kind of... It's gotta be more than that. What a disservice. A cute profile icon like that needs to be more than just 40%. Alrighty, so I need to find an ancient fish. Oh, if it's ancient, maybe it's... Maybe since it's an ancient fish, it's gonna be in like one of these sky islands. But I don't really... Don't really have any good islands to... Wait, hang on. Excuse me while I make a beeline. Why am I still 44%? Let me change into a better and cuter profile pic. You're not going to be able to do your cute rateness again this stream, I'm sorry to say, Honey Buns. There we go. Ooh, Azor yields a high attack when it's wet. And Azor longsword, which I can't pick up. Blue Lizalphus horn. Awesome. Take a quick photo of this longsword before I forget. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You can't do your cuteness rating more than once in a stream. People used to spam it, and they used to be like, I can be cuter than this, or I can be more himbo than this, but I've had to invoke a little bit of a check to make sure people aren't trying to get more cuteness than they think they can get. Oop. Where the fuck am I? Oh, I wonder. Yep, I was able to just reach... Oh! No. That's not what I wanted to happen. Maybe I need to move this forward a little bit more. There we go. Now we're like... Alright, does this take me up all the way? No, it doesn't. Thank goodness. Okay. Alright, what's in here? A spear I cannot use, nor do I want to use. I'll leave you in there. Sorry, I know you mean well, but you're not good enough. Oh, 71. Ooh. No, go, get back here. Hang on. Get back here. Where was that? Hang on. Where is it? Hang on. Foreground elements. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Ooh. Nice. Real sexy. Nice. Alrighty. Okay, so we didn't get the fish there. We're likely not going to... Probably not going to be able to get the fish from these, like, muddy waters. So we need to get them from something else. That's funny. Just let me take a picture of that upside down. There we go. And... Oop. Alrighty, so there's the sludge there. More sludge there. Ow. There we go. Well, at least you got shock fruits for me. And the horses are safe. Muddy Waters is your favorite blues singer? There's a blues singer named Muddy Waters? I am going to be that sneaky. I am going to be underhanded and sneaky when the time calls for it, because it makes my job just a little bit easier. What's this? No, that's not a useful bow. Alright, so there's something there. Random water here. Alright, let's see what's up here. Swimming up into the stone, and we end up here. Roasted bass, cool. Really? That's... Oh, wait, no, there's another level. Alright, do not blow up the bombs. Spiked iron ball... Ooh, okay. Sounds like a thing, doesn't it? Don't know what... Wait, what sounds like a thing? I wasn't I lost my train of thought. What's a thing? What's a thing? Alright, so... Pretty sure the thing we're looking for has to be within the... Within this region. Maybe it's in the Mira and Lua lakes? Maybe it's somewhere within there. Do I want to Google this question? The blue stinger bit. Oh, the blues singer. Muddy Waters. I think Muddy Waters sounds like a JoJo stand. And if it's a JoJo stand, I feel like it's a song. Muddy Waters. It is an American singer named Muddy Waters who has done Hoochie Coochie Man, The Manish Boy, Baby Please Don't Go, I Can't Be Satisfied, Rollin' Stone, Got My Mojo Workin', Rollin' and Tumblin', Part 2, and I feel like going home. That is a real person. It's also a drink? Oh, okay, it's also a drink. Alright, let's see. Do you have...
Oh. Oh.
Alright, so you're not really gonna help me too much.
Hey.
We got a cool thingy-majiggy. The Stone Slate is research on it. Mark of the King. Yona. She's my fiance. Yep, cool, cool. The Mark of the King. Visiting the throne womb. What about the sludge? Alright, cool. So that's not going to help me at all. Nope, that doesn't help. Fish! King Dorfin? Okay, so that's just the throne room nonsense. So that's just a bass. Then we've got another body of water here. Can I dive it? Probably a good idea that I didn't try and dive that. Hey, I caught it that time. There we go. Ooh, another Legends. Hang on.
Yeah.
So might as well get rid of that water that was there. All right. Maybe this will give me a clue. Oop, examine. Solid water fluid spear are associated because of the dwelling place, various thingy-madiggies. One day I was Veiled Falls. Nope. 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 None of that helps me. Who dropped something on my head? You're currently eating some leftover pizza. You are hungry? I want leftover pizza. Why can't I get... I want leftover pizza. Damn it. I can't buy pizza right now. I need to save my monies. I need to be extra careful with my monies going into the future now, because I gotta save wherever I can so I can get... So I can, you know, plan my trip to the States because my grandfather wants me. Himbo got a clue today. Film at 11. More... This just in. Himbo could read. More at 6. Alright, so then we have this random structure here. Got a weird bunny there. Is there a cave nearby, perhaps? Not there. Alrighty. And then... There we go. If that bunny is nearby... Ah, there we are, a cave. Normally, if that bunny's around, it's a cave. Pizza is too American? What do you mean it's too American? Pizza's great. It doesn't matter if it's too Italian or too American. Besides, the Americans fuck up a lot of things, but I'm gonna be real with you, chat. They did not fuck up on pizza. They improved it, okay? They started putting all kinds of meats and shit, alright? When people first started doing pizzas in Italy, it wasn't like, you know, some amazing, like, sort of thing that we have today, like the meat lovers, the Hawaiian, and all that. They started off by just simply getting whatever their leftover salad was and putting it on top of a bread. It was basically what they were doing with pizza back in Italy. Then the Americans got wind of it because, you know, Italian heritage and what have you, and they started making good pizzas. They started making pizza that had fucking meat on it and cheese, like copious amounts of cheese. All right, I know what I need to do. All right, first and foremost, we're gonna wear the rock climbing top. We're gonna wear that for the caves, and we're gonna wear that for increased thingies. And then we're gonna drink this guy. 3 minutes should be enough time to avoid slipperiness. Righty. Yep, so we're going up there. No, god damn you. See, we're not likely going to be able to, unless, no. Come on, get up before you lose your... There you go. Alrighty, and then... Then... Alright, then we start climbing up this. No. I see what you were trying to do there. I'll allow it for this time. All right. Spiked metal ball. Here we go. White crap. Thank you very much. Hey, a new piece of goods. Yeah, more diamonds. Can always do with more diamonds. Meow. Alrighty. What is in this thing? Ugh. Climber's bandana. Actually, that's pretty good. It's not the fish I wanted, but okay. I'm looking for an ancient fish. An ancient secret fish. And I fell into the water because of course I do. Alrighty. Alright, so the ancient... Alright, hang on. I'm gonna Google this. The ancient arowana. Hello, mouse? There we go. Why does it keep, like, switching off? You don't like pineapple on your pizza? Not many do, but so long as you don't, like, stop people from having a good time, don't worry too much about it. 2 places to find. The easiest is to head to the ponds on the Great Sky Island where you start off in the game. Floating pond northeast of the Nacho Yas. Alright. So, apparently the starting island near the... What's it called? Nacho... Nope. Udo. Inisa. Small floating ponds. Alright. So we gotta travel to that. So we're looking for the ancient Arawa, and apparently we should be able to see them... Uh-oh. What is going... Oh, it's Windows Explorer that's deciding not to process properly. Why is Windows Explorer so difficult? Why do you have such troubles? The big titty fairy cream. What was you doing again? Well, I am going to look for some ponds. Because I need to find a fish. Not just any fish. I need to find a specific fish. And they said it was, like, near this stuff. Near, like, this particular island. Hang on a second. If I open a new thingy-majiggy. Sky Island. Alright, they say there are 2. One of them could be in that one there for some reason, but... Is that even at the correct height? Hopefully so. Yeah, it looks it. Yay! Ancient arowana. A living fish that hasn't changed much since ancient times. Nutritious meat can restore some health. Awesome. I'm gonna pick up a few of those. Just in case they want me to, like, bring them multiple... Let's see, is there another one I could... No, I couldn't see it. Alright, let me just grab this chest. Alright, we got what we need. Hi there, Husky. You know where they are? Excellent. I now know where they are. Well, I know where the early game ones are. Apparently there's, like, other places you can get them. I imagine they're going to be a lot more ready to, like, find and such if I can get to, like, other Sky Islands near the Zora region, because it's just, you know, filled with water and what have you. And then they mentioned... So... Alrighty. Let's see how we go with... Where is the next island we can jump to? So that's snow up the wazoo that I don't really want to... Have I dealt with that area before? Yes, I have. Okay, cool. So don't need to deal with that again. Ding, 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 ding. Change to our full thingy-madoog. Yunk. And... so there's a storm over there. Ooh, shrine. Hang on. Actually, I can go for this hole here. Ooh. Oh, that was a... they also spawn it... ow! The fuck was that? That was a bitch. Okay. Meow. Alright, let's see what this has me doing. Dun, dun, dun. Built for ruins. Alrighty, let's have a look. So we got rails. Alright, hopefully these aren't gonna fall off. No, doesn't look like it. Really close to the Shatterback Point. Nah, don't see it. Okay, what's going on here? Oh. Alright. Oh, hang on. I see what this thing wants me to try and do, but little do they know I can just do this. Now watch this nonsense. I don't know if the game realizes that if you have me needing to do like a specific like leap of logic or something weird like that with the whatsamahoozies, I'm not going to do that. Okay, first and foremost, I can fix that. Let me make that a lot better. Yep, that should be fine. So now we should be able to... if you can go just a little bit faster, I'd appreciate it. Oh! There it is. Shatterback Point. You're right. Come on. Let's see if you keep going. And... yes, you do. That's the other thing. Like, some of these puzzles, I believe, Nintendo seems to think I'm not going to, like, have, like, Looty Goblin brain in my mind and be like, ah, yes, I'm gonna take this thing with me. I know it's, like, technically disposable, but I'm going to take, you know, this puzzle piece with me that's already served its purpose in the previous puzzle, because maybe it will help me in the next one. And sometimes, not necessary whatsoever. Other times, however, it just shortens the time I'm doing this. Oop. There we go. So yeah, especially when I'm in an area where they give me infinite energy as well. Come on, come on. There we go. Alright, what's stopping me from just... never mind. I was wondering what was going to stop me from just jumping off at that point and just gliding my way across. Making you walk back a single room is just padding. Nah, because they don't need me to walk back to the other room. They normally give me all the materials I need in the room with the puzzle, but... you know, I make it extra easy for myself by just picking up the puzzle pieces from the last area, especially when they're platforms or wheels or what have you, and just bringing them into the new place. It just makes the puzzle that much more solvable. Also, hi Avalon, welcome to the stream. Hi there, welcome. How's it going? How's Scotland? Are you in Scotland? I know you're Scottish, I just can't remember if you're still in Scotland. We offer this. You can, yeah. I saw someone in a TikTok video where it's like, yes, you have all the pieces you need to solve this puzzle, and it's only in this room. And then the guy just like whips out his cart shield and just starts grinding, and there's Tony Hawk's music in the background. So you have to ask. What do you have to ask? What do I think about the sound design? It's not been a problem for me. I feel like sound design is one of those kinds of things where not very many people notice it until it's a problem. Hello there. So yeah, like it's not the first thing I think about, but you know, now that you raise it, I'm probably going to have like a little bit of extra thought. Actually, one thing I noticed when I was in a cutscene was you know how Link has the deer, like, not the deer, the goat's arm? I noticed in a cutscene. So. Wait, hang on. Maybe I can. No, not that. So if I do a self-portrait. Nah, I can't change. So. If only there was like a photo mode, because I'm pretty sure in cutscenes, the little whatsamahoozy, the little pendant on the back of his hand, I think it was changing based off of like which of these ruins you went with. So the intro, the dive, the whole song was made for it. Yeah, I didn't think too hard. They do make a different whoom noise for the different abilities. Although Ultra Hand and Fuse don't really have that much of a difference compared to, you know, Recall or Ascend to anything else. All right. Dink. Travel back over to here. Back to the main quest. The tier specifically controls one thing only. No. What I mean it like, just that weird on the back of his hand. It has like some runes on it, and I noticed that the rune, like the character of the rune, because I had recall last. Oh, you mean? Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, so it's hard to tell, but... So, like, the recall puts a thingy-majiggy on the back of the hand. I thought there was a different, like, thingy-majiggy on the back of the hand. It changes during cutscenes? Yeah, that was my thought as well, is that depending on which of these tears you're using, it uses, you know, a different character. There's a different character on the back of your hand. Alright, I'm gonna go into that inn and get myself some... Oh, general store, inn. I didn't realize those thingamajiggies there.
Hi. Oh.
I'm gonna take a blissful waterbed until the morning. Because that gives me, Oh, tears. The fuck you bouncing for? It's just a waterbed. It should be just a... Like, you should just slosh, and then you sit still, and then you don't move at all, because you're worried that the sloshing, like... Yeah. Never mind. There we go. 3 extra hearts and a full extra stamina. There we go. You shouldn't be like... I would be worried if anyone ever... Link is getting some shark. No, he ain't. Link is just being a fucking child, jumping up and down on a waterbed. Don't ever jump up and down on a waterbed. You're most likely to spring a leak, and you're just gonna have to deal with a wet bed, which is absolutely terrible. Good morning, Sir Link. Have you located an ancient Aurorian by chance? If I only had... Yes, I did. Here you go.
Whoa.
Now I can stop wearing my owl outfit and start wearing a Zora outfit. An ancient Aurorian. With this, I can finally finish repairing my... Kimon, don't jump on a waterbed, but feel free to jostle in a horizontal fashion. Oh, you fucking... Avalon. Horny. Horny.
Becky. Limb smash. Bonker.
Yes.
The armor is good as new. Yep. Please take this along with you as our best wishes. Alright, we should be able to swim up things. Of course, it will not help with you climbing waters that have been tainted with sludge. However, with great skill, I'm certain you'll find a way up that waterfall, clouded though it is. Yep, cool, awesome. We restored the armor. Now you have max battery? How the fuck did you... Okay, I have recently learned that you can increase the battery, but in order to do that, you need crystallized thingy-majiggies, which you normally get from crystal refineries or from like bosses in the depths. However, I thought when they first talked about it that you'd get a full battery with 100 pieces. Nope, it is 300. It is only a third of the battery. Like, ding 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 ding. Damn it! I was meant to get out of this cutscene. Get me out! Get me out! Get me out! Get me out! Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. See you later. All right. So, nope, wrong one. Ding 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 ding. Because I collected like 100 of them, and I only got one third of an energy cell. I didn't even get a full energy cell, and I wanted a full energy cell for that trouble. You're not there yet, but there's greater essences. Oh my god. Alrighty then, note to self. Continue through the progression of this game until we get to like the bigger battery things. King Dorphin, super punch, super kick. Yeah, I'm so big and strong. Wahahaha. Oh no, I got beat. The sludge is so yucky. Ah, you got me, you big dumb monster. There's no other choice. I'll have to hide in the secret spot. And that spot is... What's up, guys? We're full up on folks who are allowed to play our King Dorothin game. We can't keep playing with you here, so take the hint and scram. Alright, note to self. I need to be sneaky. Do I get the full armor? No, I only get this. Alright, let me be extra sneaky then, and put on these.
Oh. Ah.
Oh! Oh, hang on. Oh, hey, cool. That's neat. Alright, hang on. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Hang on. I wonder, was the game built with this intention? Hang on, let me see. Was it built for this this sort of circumstance? They didn't sound like him at all. I'm trying, but I can't play Muzza and the monster not all by myself. I've been wondering, the secret spot where King Dorphin is hiding, what kind of place is it? I know, right? I asked King Dorphin about it once, and he said it was a pristine sanctumy. Sanctumy. Pristine sanctumy. So I guess it's a spot with clear water, somewhere you can get your tummy cleaned and stuff. But these days, most of the water around the domain is all yucky because of the sludge. I've heard there's clean water flowing somewhere between Ploymus Mountain and the domain. There's supposed to be a secret entrance behind a waterfall. Sounds amazing. No one's listening. Alright. Alrighty. So... Ploymus. Roko, the lake... Rayo Zora River, the dam, between Ploymus and the domain. So I'm guessing either there or... Okay, I think I know where we need to go. Alrighty, so we need to go to a clean water source. And we need to swim up. Here we go. I love how it takes no stamina to swim up, despite the fact, like, Link is very much exerting way more energy in swimming up than him dashing across. Also, hang on. Switch to the Zora sword. And then... Alright, here we go. Oh, did I make it across? Yes, I did. There we go. There it is. Secret. Plenty of fish. Like, I know salmon can. Hey, there he is, but he's not looking great. Nope, that's not working.
Who approaches? Is that you? Is it Link? How did you find this place? What cruel ploy are you plotting?
Hold, my ever-loyal minion. If you speak in such a way without explanation, Link here will only be confused as to what is going on. Dorphan, King of the Zora. Hello, Link. It has been some time since last we spoke. I have received word that you went missing along with Princess Zelda. Why have you come here? Well, to think that such a thing should transpire for the hero of Hyrule and Princess Zelda. You expect us to believe that Princess Zelda simply disappeared? Just like that? Do not sully our ears with your lies. I saw Princess Zelda with my own eyes, right after the phenomenon at Hyrule Castle took place. Calm yourself, mother. Link's eyes betray no hint of deception. He remains a trusted friend of the Zoa. There must be an explanation. Link, I will now tell you what happened when last we saw Yeah, okay. As well as the reason behind... Yep, continue on. Van, lead advantage to the threat. Goes to the... Yep.
Hey, you can't spell nutrition without
without
nut,
nut,
right?
am I right? Hi there, Froggo. Wait, is this the Froggo that... Hang on. Is this the same Froggo? No, I'm thinking of a different Froggo. There was like a frog that Mutasaur had did a VTuber or a ref sheet for. Actually, that might have been for Make Us DJs. I think that might have been their persona, not like a existing character who already had one. You've already spoken with Jahato. You say that the Mark of the King was mentioned on the stone. The Mark of the King refers to a Zoa King scale. One of my scales, in other words. I have heard it called by the name you mentioned in an ancient ritual. However, none remain who know how it was used. If it may prove useful at all, take a few. There is no need for restraint. This is simply as nothing to me. If you run out, simply return and require more. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna throw some here, and I'm gonna ask him for more king scales. The Mark of the King. Okay, he's not gonna give me more. Never mind. Alright, so we got 5 king scales, and we have to be extra careful about using these. Oh! We can go up this waterfall next. There we go. Oh, we can, like, go side to side. Interesting. And then... Now we go to Prince Sidon and see if we can get up to the islands with his help. The Legend of Zelda robe, because they're all main stories mostly. Okay, so I've recently learned that The first Zelda game, chronologically speaking, is Skyward Sword. That's the first Zelda game. And then Breath of the Wild is the last one. So this is now a sequel of Breath of the Wild, because there was apparently like 3 different timelines or something like that because of the events of Ocarina of Time. And then, you know, they somehow snipped all the 3 timelines and put them into Breath of the Wild, and now this is where we are. I have no doubt it will help you. Speaking of, have you found anything? Yes, I have. Your father was attacked by the monster. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Oh my goodness. They're going ham. Oh my goodness. They're going ham. If yeah, please tell me you know at once. If you find a clue about the watery bridge connecting to the Zora, stand atop the land of the skyfish, and reveal the most wondrous thing. Yes, I am mostly going to be skipping some dialogue just to kind of quicken up this thing, because I get distracted very easily by mechanics, and if I can just get through this game just a teensy bit quicker, I will. There we go. Oh, I can't pick up the opal broadsword? There we go. Grab some splash fruit. They're always going to be useful, I think, going forward. Avoid the sludge. More splash fruit, thank you. Alright, hopefully the guy will give us more hints once we've talked to him again. The Mark of the King. We figured out about the Mark of the King. The King's Scale, truly. If we apply the understanding of the words written upon the stone slate, we would get, stand upon the land of the skyfish, behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks you see, a droplet waits for you. Through this droplet, shoot an arrow with the King's Scale. Do this task, and you shall receive a most wondrous thing. Water's bridge, resting point, spot with your own 2 eyes, that which connects the Zora to the people of the sky. Through this droplet from the land of the sky. First, you must find the land of the skyfish. Heard of such a thing as the... Oh!
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. You're back. You had a bit of a nap. You could go for like a full-on sleep, Furry Cures. Like, I know it's like 3 or 4 in the morning for you right now. You could go for a... You could go on for a full-on sleep. Alrighty, so... Is that the fish? No! Oh! Hang on! That's the fish. So that looks like a fish right there. Alright, I'm gonna mark you. Let's see. Don't exactly have a good... Alright, we got that mountain, but that's going to be a long trek. And we don't really... Like, we have that we have this shrine here. But I don't think it will get us very far. Not unless we use... Alright, I got an idea on how we might be able to get to that fish. It's going to take a little bit of ingenuity, but we're going to do it. If you bring fabric to the dye shop at Hello, you can have your glider reworked. Don't know where Hateno is. Here we go. Let's do this. Alright, so we're over here. And... So the fish thingy-majiggy was over there. Alright, put those in. Alright. Alright, so we get fans, hydrants, and a big wheel.
Calm your rice paddy.
You calm your rice paddy. Alrighty, gliding, gliding, and gliding. Here we go. So that gets us up here. I don't know how far that is. Let's see, we got the soaring over there. Got the orbs there. Alrighty. I'm gonna need a few things. Alright, take out that. Grab the wings. Grab some fans. Amazingly enough, this thing, like, very much was close to the rocket design I wanted. Alrighty. Here's what's gonna happen. So. I'm gonna point the rocket... Alright, so rocket's gonna start there. It's gonna go up. Did you like the dive part of the, I liked it. I was very worried I tried going, because there was like those two lakes. I tried going for the one closer to where I needed to go. Oh, hang on. I need to do that again. Hang on. So I need to make sure I don't, like, wiggle the controller around when I do this. Alright, you ready for this? Check this shit out. Alrighty, and then... Dunk. There we go. Alright, let's go a little bit to the right. There we are, there we are, there we are. Oh, okay, maybe, okay, let's just balance the weight out just a little bit. There we go. Unless... No, we're just dropping. Shit. Ah! No! God damn it! Ah! Damn it. It failed me. I thought it was gonna go very far, but it didn't do shit. Oh, hang on, there's a... Oh, wait, no, that's the sludge stuff, isn't it? Yeah, that thing is sludge. That's not gonna get us up there. And then that sludge over there as well. We need something that... Okay, so... Maybe there's a place... Boom. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Retarded. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Retarded. Pull up. Retard. Retard. Pull up. Fun fact. There is actually a, like, I don't know what situation what situation it happens in jets, but there is an actual like point in the jet where it will start screaming retard at you. All right, so we got 3 different sludge points. And then oh Jesus. All right, time this. There we go. All right. Retard means slow down? Oh, okay. All right, let's try... Maybe we can use the tower to shoot ourselves up? You need to get an emulation and play all the Zelda games? I reckon it's in my, like, sort of to-do... Because I'm going to be real with you, chat. I've not played any other Zelda games besides Breath of the Wild. I know, like, Z has gone through Ocarina of Time, like, so many times that they're able to do a randomizer challenge and get the game done in the singular stream as well. I cannot imagine going through any video games and doing it in, like, within one stream. It sounds, like, not doable for me. Alrighty, let's try this. Alright, so we got all this toxic sludge here and there. And then... chest here. What does this do? Oh! Oh, well that's a long ways away. I haven't explored that part of the depths yet. That's gonna be a waste of time. Alright, let's have another... Oh, that's the fish one, and that's clean water. I was trying to get to that fish. Actually, hang on a sec. I can get to that fish one by just... Nope. Travel to this thing, run across, and then I can go... God damn it. I thought it was going to be really high up in the air and there wasn't going to be a way for me to get to it, but I reckon I can get to it from the ground level because the Zora armor will allow me to just, like, you know, swim up it. By attaching a battery, you can achieve it without consuming your energy. Yep, cool. Alright. So yeah, that one, it looks like a fish from the map, like from the sky view, and we should be able. Fun fact, Abrams tanks also have a bitching Betty. Drive chain, okay, so driver hatch open, driver hatch open, driver hatch. So they're calling it, so it's called bitchin' Betty when it starts, when it warns about the driver hatch thing. Is that what you mean? Ooh, I see. So we have to try and hit this thing. Oh. That did not go as intended. Oh, because I'm not wearing the... I'm an idiot. Where's my shirt? There we go. Alrighty then, give me a minute. I have to now climb all the way back up because I did not think this thing through. Alright. Oh, the voice audio is called Bitching Betty. Oh, okay, so it's basically someone that sounds like Betty and they're calling him Bitching Betty. Alright, and then take a little bit of rest here, and we keep climbing here. chop down some trees while I'm at it. Oh, that's interesting. They give you like a flame thingy-majiggy if you wanted to try and get up there another way. Actually, we should probably try and see how it goes. Alright, hang on a second. So, first off, swap back to my Zoa shirt. And then... Alright, so we got... We got that platform there. We got that there. Which likely means we need to find... the fire spewing thing, which shouldn't be too far away, if I am lucky. I swear it would be somewhere around here. Nah, fuck it. Alright, flames. Oh, and then there's also rocks falling from the sky as well. So we probably had multiple ways to get to this particular fish. All right, let's see. Does the one battery get us all like close enough to the top? Not close enough. So it's going to disappear, and then it's going to use our batteries where we have plenty to go around. I want to give myself as much distance as I can, so then that way, when I jump and glide, I have enough leeway to just drop. I think that's enough. Alright, so we got some boxes there. We got all this dredge nonsense here. Oh, wait, hang on. I think I have an... No, I don't. Alright. Give me a second. I need to get a particular item out. Fun fact. These things have different, like, so they don't do that much increase in power, but rubies, for example, give me the power of fire. Sapphires give me the power of ice. Topaz gives me the power of light, of electricity. The opal gives me the power of water. So, while I'm holding onto this magic specter... There we go. Let's see, how does it go with... Oop. Cleans it up very well. So yeah, that's just any time I use a magic specter with a whatsamahoozy, with a gem, is instead of it being only like one thingy-madiggy, it's instead like two of them. Like two weird balls. Very useful. Very helpful. Thank you for the hyper himbo wolf nerd. I'm not in a boss fight, yes, but it was going to be very useful. Alright, so we're here. And... Let me have a read of that clue again. Stand upon the land of the skyfish and behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks you see a droplet waits for you. Through this droplet shoot an arrow with the mark of the king. Do this task and you shall reveal a most wondrous thing. Okay, so among the rocks there should be a droplet. Okay, so we're on the fish. I'm gonna take the wild guess that right there is the droplet. I literally just walked into that one. All right. All right. Pull out the bow, and then. So we need the king's thingy-madig. It's king scales, and then firing it through. Okay. Boom. Oh, this looks cool. Dun. All right, so we solved that one. Is there more than one of these droplets, perhaps? Like, I didn't think I saw any others. Nah, I don't think we saw any others. We got that Zora... We got that interesting Zora statue there that I want to go to, though. Oop, avoid that. But yeah, there might be something down there for us, but I want to go to that statue there and see what it does. Might be some cool treasures. Mifa Court. Awesome. Meow. Oh, that's the previous sage, the Mifa or whatever her name is. That's why it's called Mifa's Court. Over there! What is that? Something resembling a pillar of light has revealed itself at the East Reservoir. Wonder if it has anything to do with the upheaval. I reckon Prince Sidon would want to know about this as well. Hang on. Fishies! Fish! Damn it. Alright, let's get out of this thing. I was hoping to catch a fish just by literally jumping in for it. But I guess not. Also, hi there, Shadow Darkin. How is it... Draken, sorry. Shadow Draken. How goes it? Alrighty, Prince Sidon. Why have you stopped doing what you were doing? Oh, the others have started doing their thing. Okay. Lady Yonda! Lady Yonda, it is far too dangerous for you to be here. Darling, I came here because there is something I need to speak with you about. I've been thinking for quite some time. Oh. Hello there, Link. What happened, my friend? Did you figure something out? I solved it all by myself. Also, thank you for the follows, Shadow Draken. It's okay. How am I doing? I am doing fairly all right. Hang on a sec. Sippies. I am just going through the rigors of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. If the word upon the stone slate are correct, a path to the sky may open up if we investigate that location. Well done, Link. This is a huge development. My dear son, I think you should go with Link to investigate the pillar, as I was about to say. That is undoubtedly true. However, whatever is troubling you, why are you hesitating so? It is simply that... Uh-oh. That looks like a problem. The fuck is that? Oh, that's nasty. Sludge-like. Yeah. Disgusting. I need to take a picture of this because it's most likely going to be in our what's-mahoozies. Shielding you from our foe. You may shoot forth the... When is his charge? He creates a bubble of water that blocks an incoming enemy attack. If you swing the weapon, this water will be channeled into a long-range strike. Oh, that was an amazing photo.
We need to get up close and personal with it. Be careful. Nice job, Lee.
Wait, how am I supposed to... I wasn't paying attention. What is he exactly hit its weak? Yeah, I know how to... I don't know how to do side-ons thing. I haven't had a lot of practice in being able to do deflections with the shield either, so I'm kind of trying to learn that as well. Excuse me. Battle tips. Thank you. Alright. Alright, first and foremost, swap to the opal broadsword, so then that way I can throw water at it. Is there any way for me to skip the... No, I've already seen this.
Yes.
Yep, dun, 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 dun. Come on. Yep, I've already read this.
Oh.
But yeah, I know about the likes, how you just need to shoot the weird orb thingy-majiggy in its tongue, the uvula, or whatever it's called.
Oh.
Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. Ambusher of Misa's course, the sludge-like. I'll use my power to shield you from a foe.
We need to get up close and personal with it. Be careful.
Oh, they have legs? What the hell?
Nice job, Lee.
There we go. Defeated. Oof. There we go, and we get a nice little chest for it. Alright, so it looks like we have to stand next to him to get the shield thingamadiggy, and then once we do, then we can use the swipe thingy to send it off. It's possible that leave this place, dear Scion. But yep, Dylon, appreciate that you worry. Yep. Enough is enough. You are not acting like yourself. Yeah. You must leave this place to me. Sweet Sidon, do not get lost in the past. You must keep moving ever onward. Just follow your heart as you always do. Like my whole self. Like I always do. It's alright, I swear it. I'm not going anywhere. I see. And there it is. Clear as day. I was giving in to my fear of once more losing someone I loved. You're right, Yona. I will not give in to this fear, nor forsake my trust in you. I leave this place to you, my love. Is he gonna do the pose? Yes, he's gonna do the pose! Yes! Off we go, Link, to the Pillar of Light! Look at this guy doing his fucking pose, the smile and the arm pump. He's just like, yes! I shall blaze on ahead, my friend. Hi there, Sky Ninja. Welcome to the stream. Catching in at a good time, I hope. What time is it? Oh, it's 8. It's getting close to the end of the night. Has finally put his doubts behind him as usual. All this time he was clinging to regret. He was unknown from taking action because he feared losing me as well. Ding. Yep, please take good care of him. Will do, but let me first open this chest. Bonk. I cannot carry another Royal Claymore. I'll drop this to pick up the Royal Claymore then. Alright. So now we need to head to the weird light without me drowning. There we go. All right. Should be able to get to where we're going this way. Whoosh. I wonder if the day might come that I have to upgrade my PC. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? Play like... I almost thought that said play me like I'm instead. Who is this? What the what? Sorry, I'm just looking at a follower name that I'm like, I am not 100% sure. Okay. I haven't said anything yet. Sorry. The name was a bit sus. What do you mean new PC? Oh, so I've upgraded my CPU most recently. I need to update my descriptor as well in the commands for it, but I've upgraded my PC to the 5950 most recently, and it's been really good because it means that I'm able to play PC. Like in last night's or the night before's stream back on Saturday, I was playing Final Fantasy 14 and I wasn't having a lot of like hiccups and such, but I'm noticing I'm getting hiccups now, and I'm thinking it might just be because I'm been running on Windows 10 all this time, and you know we've already been on Windows 11 for about like a year plus, and it might be time for me to like try and get everything I want backed up, saved, and what have you before I maybe go into the next thing in Mitiki. Hi there, Sir Dragon. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing all right. You want to build your own PC? Okay, here's... So, hang on a second. No, not double exclamation point. Hopefully this command works. So, PCPartPicker.com is a really great site if you want to, like, you know, because people also do submissions. Like on the main page, you'll see submissions of recently completed PCs, and people will do a mixture of either the best of what they've wanted to make or a budget PC. And those are really cool for figuring out what parts you should purchase in order to create a PC. And once again, I need to upgrade my, update my Streamer bought commands and descriptors, so then that way it actually mentions the new CPU instead of the old 5600. So, yeah. So, this is the clue for reaching the sky. Just now. What was that? Never mind. Now is not the time for flights of fancy. Just where could that light be coming from? It's coming from the temple that's high up in the sky.
I have an idea.
Aren't we in the muddy waters right now? Oh, here he is doing like the cool swim. Can't wait to be in stream when you get those parts. I already got those parts. I've already built the PC and such. I think we're getting confused on what I'm talking about, Sky. Sorry.
It's just as I thought. I can see an entrance at the bottom of the lake. I'll make a path for you. Dive in, Link.
Oh, so we're going into a water temple. Alrighty then. So yeah. So I've already done like I've already done big upgrades to my PC right now. I'm a one PC build kind of guy as well. So I don't really have a backup PC for, you know, or a secondary PC for streaming purposes. Hey! Dragon! What are you doing with my shirt? Give it back. Give me back my shirt. Alrighty, so... Alright, what's in this chest here? Oh, I can't open it from here. Alright. Alright, open you. What do we get? Another Zora sword with a long throw. Ice Bear, thank you for the follow. Ice Bear. Alrighty. Dash. There we go. Now we can raise the water level.
Hello.
Hello, Ice Bear. You would like a better graphics card and CPU? Understandable. Highly desirable things. The graphics unit is definitely like the first of the two upgrades normally that goes on, because CPUs usually have like a very big bang going off with their upgrades and such, so they normally take a few years. And what's more is we've recently gone through some CPU updates both on the Intel and on the AMD side, where the previous generation of motherboards are not compatible with the new generation. So rather than having AM3s, you now need to have, I think, AM4s, or I think we might be up to AM5 soon at some point. But that's because of compatibility issues and trying to support previous CPUs is not possible with the number of generations that AMD's done. GPUs are always going to be a worthwhile upgrade if you're like focused on video games or 3D development. Okay. All right, so then we got another one there. All right, here's what we do. Alrighty.
Bone Maska Dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
I had to get another one in me, didn't you? Alrighty, hang on. There we go. Alrighty. Hi there, Bone. Welcome to the stream. Alrighty, here we go. Let's do some squats. Big stretch. Trying to go through this one section until there's like a shrine or something before I finish the stream. Alright, here we go. 20 more squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. You just woke up with a summer sausage in your mouth? That sounds like a weird euphemism. That sounds like a very weird euphemism. All right. Oh, chest. Hang on. Can you just let me back up, please? There we go. Let's see, what do we get from you? You just woke up. Yeah, no, fair enough, I understand. Uh-huh. Slippery, swim speed increase. Yeah, let's go with the swim speed increase. No ulterior meaning. Okay, then. Fine. No ulterior meeting, then. Alright, so the water is flowing from somewhere. Alright, so the water is flowing from here. But we don't really have anything to break here. Seems like you're a good bit ahead of me. How goes it, Grant? Hi there, Dazarus. I didn't recognize you there. Hi. It's going all right. I got raided like 3 times this evening. It was crazy. Sashera was with the third party. It was like with these other kobolds. Let me see if I can remember the name. Unity VTuber. I met another kobold. So that was pretty decent. Alrighty, so we've already broken the thing. We need another... And then we're trying to get to that thing. Which... I just need it now. She's a good bean? Yeah, she's a good bean. Alrighty, so right now I need to... Oh, I see. There are some gaps I need to cover. Alright, hang on a second.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Alrighty. Amazing how this thing hasn't broken yet. How many tiers of the... How Tears of the Kingdom, though, Zeebs? How is Tears of the Kingdom? I'm enjoying my time with it. I am always a sucker for RPG sort of adventures like these, where I can just, you know, waste my time. I'm with exploration and such, and I, you know, just want to do more of it. That is a regular thing I will do in RPGs, especially off stream as well. That's a regular occurrence, is me just as being an absolute gremlin. Ooh, hello. What are you? I don't recognize you. An ice-like. Cool. Oh, I don't like that. Fire fruit. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, I'm also using, like, my best bow as well. Like, no, let's stick to just using. There we go. All right. Pick up some ice fruit. Pick up the like stone. Keeps cool even outside the body of the creature. Cook it with a cricket to make an elixir. No idea what kind of elixir it'll make. Can't wait to play Final Fantasy. It will be my Final Fantasy game. Oh, the Final Fantasy 14? I played a little bit of that. I'm still going through that. Grant, I am away from stream till Wednesday. I can only explore the first tower off stream, and I have 200 pictures and 80 kobolds. Help! I cannot... Oh, 80 koroks. I can't help you. Unfortunately, that is your thing. I cannot... That is your thing. I have not collected that many koroks. I've been trying to collect this guy here. I've been trying to pick up these bubble gems. I think there's going to be quite a lot of these. I know everyone's, like, from the previous... Everyone's, like, remembering the trauma from the previous game where you had, like, 900 Korok seeds and such. But I reckon those bubble gems and some of the Zora resources are going to be the bigger pet peeve for people. That's going to be the tipping point for some peeps, is all the other things. Alright, so we got a giant thingy-ma-dig there. Alright, grab this. Oh, cool, a chest. Alright, awesome. And... Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I forgot one of my abilities. I forgot a very important ability I had under my belt. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hang on a second, chat. Oh, why did I not think of that? Hang on. Now there's 1,000? Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm trying to save Zelda, by the by. I forgot about this program, and it would have worked through the grates. Oh, it's all coming back. Alrighty. Actually, I wonder, can I just throw this? And then I'm just gonna be pushed out, aren't I? Or I'm gonna drown. It's gonna be one of those things. I am going to need to go to bed. I'm gonna need to go to bed soon. I'm gonna need to get through that thing. Hopefully it gets me to a shrine nearby. And then... Alright, how do I get out of this scenario? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it puts me like back in this weird cave. That's why it was like really big, was so then that way it was able to catch me in case I wanted to like teleport upwards. That makes sense. Alrighty, and then all the pieces broke. Alright, let's... Alrighty. Looks like a really cool game. You've just felt distance from gaming? Nah, it's okay. Like, games are one of those kinds of genres. I knew it.
Nope.
I knew that was a dangerous follow. It looks like you're playing this with an N64 controller. No, I'm playing with the Switch. Like, I can't imagine playing with that crazy N64 controller with the three thingy-madiggies. Oh. Oh, that's opened up another thing. Okay. Oh. No, that's helpful. Gonna head out, do some exporting. Since you're ahead of me, want to avoid spoilers, but have a fun, Grant. You good bean. Unity says hi. Hi, Unity. Also, good luck with the exporting, Dazarus, and thank you for chopping in for a quick moment. I won't be playing Legend of Zelda on Friday. I'm gonna be playing Melody of Memory on Friday, so something besides Zelda to, you know, give people a non-spoiler stream available to them. Is this your doing? Yes, it is. You activated a mysterious device in the ruins, and the waterfall appeared. I believe I understand. To Azora, a waterfall is no different. If we climb this, we can ascend into the sky. Link! I knew you could do it. My belief in you is as well placed as ever. Ching! Ooh. Now, last time, a weird spirit just said, come.
Here.
Here. Okay, nope. They said here. Sorry, I had to press those buttons. Let me know when you want to do a party stream again. The first of the month. I want to try and do something for the first of the month. Next month as well is going to be my stream anniversary month as well, so I need to plan nonsense for that. I don't have a lot of time, I realized. Someone calling to me? What was that sound I just heard? Well, in any case, we now have a path forward. All that is left is to press ever onward. With your Zora armor, you can climb the waterfall as well. Let us be off to our next adventure, Link. Awesome. Alright, so that puts us here. Into the Lananaru Great Spire. Alright, so there's all these water orbs. I don't see a shrine anywhere. Oh! Moon gravity again! This is the first time I'm getting moon gravity. interesting stuff. So we now have like a... We now have a clean water source on here. What am I trying to save? I'm trying to save Zelda and the Whatsamahoozee peeps. Alright, I've got a lot of those. I'm gonna drop you, because the Soldier Blade is really strong. What is this place? My body feels light as a feather. It's a strange place indeed, but right now we must focus on locating the source of the sludge. Link, it's time to divide and conquer. Let's split up for the time being. Alright, fine, we're splitting up. Alright, so we got this giant thing. Okay. So I can use it for that, so I can tread water. And then... So it sits me in a spot, and then once that thing pops... Alright. Let's see, can I... Yep, I can leave it ahead of time with a dash. Alright, let's see how we go with this. Alright, so we got like we got several different places for sludge. Alright, how high can we go? Three, 2, 1. Where's Tulin? Tulin is in spirit. Alright, level 3 soldier, there we go. Alrighty then. So, more of the sludge. Thankfully, it doesn't use too much battery to run around with this thing, which is nice. And there we go. Then we can get to this chest. Very old map with a marked spot, giving us over in the right corner. All right, a lot of depths. Oh damn, we can jump high. Hmm. Alright, I'm gonna need that hose again. Just need to find where it dropped. Ooh, armor plants. Oh no, a hardy radish. Okay. Take a photo of that. This is all to improve the, increase the compendium of all the stuff I know. Mm-hmm. Alright, put you over there. Hi there, Trumpet Collins! Welcome back! How is Thingamajiggy? Just wondering, what does a Prime sub do? A Prime sub gives you access to, you know, ad-free viewing, and you don't have to, and you get to utilize emotes. So, give me one moment, and dink. So, anyone who is subscribed to Amazon or Twitch Prime, oh my goodness, there's the PC going off again. Anyone that's subscribed to, you know, Twitch or Amazon Prime, they get themselves, you know, once a month a free sub to, you know, donate or to use on whatever channel they wish. Alrighty, and then there we go. So that gives us... Oh, hang on. There we are. So now we can run into these waterfalls and get a big jump. There we are. You're doing badly. The Gleox hurt. You almost got insta-killed in one hit. I think I've bumped into one or two. I bumped into a fire and a lightning one, and they are a pain. They were one-shotting me as well. All right, here we go. All right, jump to here. Let's just have you gusted over here, because, you know, fact of the matter is... Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. A shrine. Oh, the King Gleok, not the normal one. There we go. All right. I wanted to get to this shrine here. Or I didn't know that shrine was going to be there, but I wanted to get to a shrine that was up in this dungeon. So then that way I had like a point to be able to like come in and... Because I'm not going to go through the rest of this dungeon while off stream. I would much rather go through the dungeons and the main storylines with you guys, but leave things such as the grind, the great fairies, the exploration of the depths or the sky. You know, that one I'm fine with doing either off stream or on stream, but the main quest stuff I want to leave for you guys to see and to converse with me and such. So yeah. I'm just going to complete this one because this will be an easy freebie, quite frankly. Now, the real question is, how much of this can I get away with? Alright, so we have... Ah, I see. Alright, get ready for this. So I'm gonna... Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. About to stop here? Yes, soon. I'm just getting through the quick bits of this What's-a-Mahoozies thing. And then... Ooh, hang on. Alright, is that gonna do what I want? Oh wait, no, it's not until I do... Ooh. There we go! Alright, that's... Alright, cool. So, I just need to now wait here for the next ball. So then that way I float out. You're gonna poof, friend? Hope you have a good stream. Have fun with the boss of the water dungeon. Not to worry. Thank you so much, Trumpet Collins. I will probably take it on in the next stream. Oh, what? Why didn't that... Oh, my goodness. I'll probably take it on in the next stream. I'm gonna finish this shrine, and then I'm gonna call it... I'm gonna call it a night here, because it's 9:30 right now. And I'll most certainly have a look at seeing who's online and, you know, raid into them and such. So... Oh, nope. Alright, reverse that. Because I don't want to deal with this nonsense. Oh. Well, I'm an idiot. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna... I just want to get in the orb. Why is it so hard to get into the orb? There we go. Oh, problem. There we go. Now this thing hits the ramp, and then we just need to... And then... Alright. There we go. Cookie! Oh. Cookie for Angrel! Sorry I didn't give you your cookie in time, but here you go. Here's your cookie. How is it going? Visitor to this shrine of light, that which imprisons and purifies the ancient evil. Dun, 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 dun. 16. Hey, I now have 4... I now can, like, upgrade either my health or my stamina 4 times. I'm gonna see if I can go for, like, the full stamina circle. I'll do that off stream or something like that. Hey, Grant, all good here? How am I doing? I'm doing really well. I got, like, a lot of new followers tonight. I had some raids, which was really cool. Hopefully you're having... Wait, you already said you're doing all good? That's good. So, yeah, all right. I am going to now... All right. I am going to end the stream here because it's getting late. It's 9:30 and I want to get some sleep so then that way I can go into work tomorrow refreshed and I don't have, you know, any big issues. And plus I need to double check with my boss if I can take time off in October. If I can't get time off in October, that's a problem because then I can't go to the wedding. I hope I can go to the wedding at the very least. All right. That was really good. I think I made some good progress there. Like, I know a lot of people might not want to, you know, sit and watch me while I'm in the middle, like, because they might want to go through the game themselves, but I reckon it was still, you know, a worthwhile stream. All right. If you will stick with me for a bit, we're going to go and raid. I haven't done it in a while, and I can see they're streaming right now. We're going to go and raid into Code the Yoshi. It's been a while since I raided into them, and I reckon it would be a nice little thing for them. Hopefully you all will join in with me with that. What wedding? Oh, friend in the States is getting a wedding, and my grandfather is aware of this, and he's like, "You're gonna come to this thing?" So, but that's neither here nor there. I won't go into it again tonight, this late in the evening. We're gonna go and raid into Code the Yoshi. Oh, you're already raiding Code the Yoshi. All right. So, we're going to get ready to raid, and if you are subscribed, you can use the following raid message with the emotes. Himbo Rage, show us your cutest guys and gals, or non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. If you don't have the emotes, that's okay. You can use whatever else you want. And otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Mudasaur, if you're still here, thank you for the raid. I like butts. Thank you for the raid. And Unity, thank you for the raid. Hope you all had a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I hope the rest of or tomorrow goes well for you. I'll be back online Friday night, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.